Recording. Is it going?
Yeah.
Wait, are we on? Hello? All right. Hey, welcome back to Sonic Legacy. We got all three of us here for a while. It's been a while since we've all been together. Of course, the great, the legend himself, Gary Kelly, is sitting there. Looks like he's off somewhere on his own little desert island. The great Alan Wiesenhahn, which is German for Wiesenhahn.
I was just going to say, it might be German for I don't have an island background.
Alan is not in an island background.
I think it's German for Wiener House, but I could be wrong.
It might be.
Gary for the win. Gary for the center square. Go get him, boys.
Welcome to Sonic Legacy, where we dive into the timeless tales and transformative tunes that have shaped generations.
We are here today, so this is fun. It started out as fun, and now I'm mad at the person who suggested it. We're doing everybody's done this before. I'm not pointing fingers, Gary. Let's just say we all did it. We're going to do the thing that
the right direction anyway. So.
We've all done where we talk about your 10 desert island albums. So if you're going, the theory is, the story is, you're going to, you're stranded on a desert island, but you only take 10 albums with you. Everything you've ever listened to in your life, this is all you'll be able to listen to.
And it doesn't mean solar powered record player.
Right, you can't get off the island, but you have a record player or a CD player or a streaming service, but there's no internet. But it's dumb. I understand. You don't have to comment this. I understand. Okay? It's just kind of fun to push people into a corner and make them make the Sophie's choice. So our criteria basically was 10 albums. They don't have to be like, as Alan had stated before we went on camera, they don't have to be what are the 10 best albums according to Rolling Stone or whatever magazine you read or whatever you think are the 10 greatest albums of all time. These are your personal that you want. Like at the end of the day, these are albums that mean something to me. They make me laugh, they make me smile, they make me cry, whatever it is. These are your 10. We may make fun of you. Let's just make this a no hassle zone here. This was my idea, and I think I'm the one struggling the most with it. I told Gary and Alan as we are recording this, I'm still editing my list because I keep changing my mind of what I want to be stuck with. When I get into my list, we'll talk a little bit about how I made some choices thanks to Gary throwing something in my brain that made me think of something. I was like, all right, that makes it easier. But the big rule is you cannot have any greatest hits because that's too easy. And you cannot have a live album because that's basically a greatest hits live.
Well, there were the Immaculate Collection.
Yeah. I
had Madonna's greatest hits. Now I can't use it.
Exactly. You could listen to it on your own, but not on the island. So that's it. It forces us. This is where I struggle because it forces me. I have some bands that I truly love, and I truly love a lot of their work, and I have to decide which one. Or I could make my list of 10. I asked a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Brent Walter, about this, and his was easy. He's like, kiss, 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 kiss. I was like, you just wouldn't get tired of hearing. He's like, I'd go from Kiss first album to Rock and Roll Over to. I was like,
nine Kiss albums, one Keel.
And I was like, Brent, this is why I love you, buddy. I adore you so much. Because Brent is nothing if not consistent. And I had presented him with a dilemma I had, and he said, that's easy. And I said, no, I can't do all Kiss albums. So, but thank you for your insight. So we're going to do this. We each have a list of 10, but we're going to have some honorable mentions at the end because this is kind of hard to do and it's kind of fun to talk about. And we're going to do, we'll do one each. We'll go around the horn. Does anyone want to start it off, or I can start off? It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter to me either. I don't mind starting.
You started, Gary, because I can't pull the trigger, man. I mean,
I'll start.
I don't even want to do this anymore.
I'll start because there is one thing I want to say in my personal criteria of figuring out what I want on the desert island. I said to myself, first of all, of course it's easy to pick bands, and I don't have the option for the greatest hits. So I want to make sure I have diversity of artists So I'm not picking another album from a band. So there's no repeats. It's 10 different artists.
I struggled with this.
And when I went to pick an album from
Excuse me.
those bands, there is the consideration, and you and I talked about this briefly. There is the consideration that there are some albums that I could sing in my head. I don't need
Yes.
the album. And I also don't want to pick an album that has 4 or 5 great songs and 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah. Right.
So-
I'm with you on that.
So I tried to pick things that I felt like gave me the most bang for my buck. And I will start with, this is
Oh boy.
you already
Here we
saw
go.
the preview of this.
I just
I will start with what I consider probably, at least in my opinion,
I don't even want to do this anymore.
the greatest concept album.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And because I think it's great front to back, back to front.
Middle to end.
Whatever. Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche. I love the album. I think it's somehow still relevant today.
It's an ever loving masterpiece, Gary. It is widely recognized as one of the greatest concept albums ever put out. Not just that, just a great rock album. If you don't know it, you should. It's a story. You can read the lyrics and it tells a great story. And I completely agree with you on this. It's perfect.
Well, Alan, any thoughts on? Are you
I
a
have-
Queensryche fan?
Listen. It's an album that I have not heard,
Okay.
and I would not even attempt to feign like I don't want to push things along. I love that you went there with it. I love that you picked a concept album. I love that
thanks.
I know. Look, of what I know of Queensryche, it's awesome. But if I said that, then people might go, "Oh, well, you like, that's
Like
the
you're
one
a-
everyone knows."
You're a poser, man.
Look, I'm going to tell you, there are going to be some head scratchers that are on my list. So I'm not ashamed, but I'm going to tell you that this is all opinion anyway. This is our personal choices.
Yeah.
You could agree or disagree. You might like the artist and think that's the wrong album, whatever. You might be like, Queensryche, seriously, is
Oh, I
only
think
out of 10?
I
but
think
I don't care.
I think no, I agree. And here's something I would say. There's something that we kind of talked about, but even don't you find yourself like when you're sitting there and you're going, "Oh my God, this is the best album of all time." I mean, you don't really mean that. I mean, there's a million albums. So what you're saying is, hey, it's in the upper echelon. It's the top one. I mean, think about the compliment you're giving someone and saying it's a top 10 album of all time. I mean, there's
Yeah.
that's 0.0001% of all the albums or whatever, So to me, I love that you went there with that because that's not something someone, it's not. I've read 100 lists here in preparation to see if I'm leaving something out, and that's not one of them. And that doesn't mean it's.
Yeah.
It means something to you. But what does it take you somewhere? Does it
Yes.
remind you of a place in your life, Gary? Does it?
Well, it definitely does that. Sure. But I don't listen to it for nostalgia purposes. When I listen to it, it isn't that it necessarily takes me back to that time, although it can. I think that, like I was saying, I think the story in it, a lot of the themes in it are relevant still today. I think that you could read some of the lyrics and stuff that are in some of those songs and go, man, that could have easily just been written now.
Yes.
With
And it
with
was,
the theme.
and it came out in what, 88?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have the actual. Here.
Listen, it's one I implore anybody, Alan, if you have never taken the time, put some headphones on, start it with track 1 and just let it happen. It is.
Okay.
I mean, I know everybody will talk about The Wall as being the greatest concept album, and it could very well be, but for Gary and I, and for a lot of people, Mindcrime is nothing short of a masterpiece.
Well,
Nothing
good.
short.
And I am actually one of those people who I'm not the biggest Pink Floyd fan, but I would tell you The Wall as an album is jaw-droppingly good.
Yeah.
So, but if like I said, if people talk about this, like you said, if this is something where people who know music say, "Hey, Queensryche, this is it," I want to hear it. And I do nothing but, like I said, when I'm working, I'll put this stuff on based on recommendations because letting it flow, kind of when you're working, is a great way to do it.
Yeah, well, this is one that I listen to this album at least once a year just to remind myself of greatness. That I've been alive in a time where this kind of talent, writing music, sonically. I mean, not just that it's a great album that tells a great story. Sonically, it is a phenomenal album. The musicianship on this is top notch. And this is the same conversations that you will see worldwide when people talk about this album. They were like, "Yeah, it's not that it's just a great concept; it is a great musically recorded album. It's I'd say it's perfection. If I had to say, it's actually a perfect album.
Sounds like it's on Andy's list.
It might be. I don't want to give anything away.
Sure.
Okay.
Listen, I'm inspired. If no one else is, I am. I'm telling you. I may throw the Bose Quiet Comforts on tonight, and
I will say I find it funny that is the first one that I put out there, but these are not in any particular order. So
yeah.
I'll say this much, Gary. So mine are in no order. But when we started coming up with this list, the very first thing I typed was Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche.
Was it?
Oh, before I did anything, because to the end of my days, this will always be one of the greatest things. I've been thankful that my friends made me listen to. It opened me up to this great band. I mean, it sounds like we're doing a Queensryche episode at this point, but I'm just saying, this is one I think you'll see we'll get agreement on. If people chime in, they will agree on. Not everybody, but a lot of people will agree with this album. So, wow, whew, it's almost time for a break. It's gonna be a
Andy,
long episode.
You're up.
Oh Jesus! I don't want to do this. So listen, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention. Well, I Mindcrime was on my first one, so I don't want to bloviate anymore on Mindcrime. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. Once in a while, I may mention a guy by the name of Butch Walker.
Who?
Yes, and it's funny I mention him now because Gary is responsible for me liking Queensryche. And he's also responsible for me liking Butch Walker and not liking Butch Walker. I am obsessed with Butch Walker. If you know me, you know what I'm talking about.
He's a Butch stalker.
I'm a Butch stalker. Listen, he's got every one of his albums. I love them. To pick one is I have only one child. I'd like be picking the best kid out of the one I have. Letters, Gary, is what I go with. It's. This could change at any moment. I could change to a different Butch Walker album, but overall, front to back, this album did so much for me. It changed a lot for me. This is where I became such a fan of someone I didn't even know I needed to have in my life. And again, it's all because of Gary making me listen to him and Marvelous 3. This album just means so much to me and a lot of people. If people are fans of Butch, though, most will agree that this is probably his, maybe not. It's hard to say his best work, but it is for me. It's one of the best things he's ever put out, and it's so Letters by Butch Walker. In case you're unaware of who he is, that's Butch Walker. Letters is one of my 10.
I mean, I'll let Alan speak first before I go too far, but because I feel like we've dominated this conversation with our choices.
No, I think listen. No, I want the people who look. I will tell you this. There was, and Andy can tell you this. Maybe 3 months ago, I'm lying in bed and we're texting, and he's saying, talking about Butch Walker, and I am so open when people recommend stuff because I like to hear because like what is it that you see in this, right?
Yeah.
And so what I did, Gary, is I just opened it up and I just started tapping random. This album, this song with no clue.
Yeah.
And within 5 seconds, I was in love.
Yeah,
I mean, there was
awesome.
not, I don't think I picked a bad song. And I think my favorite Butch Walker album probably would not be everyone else's favorite Butch Walker album. Which is again probably speaks to Butch Walker and the variety and the just it was just a grab bag.
Oh, I think I know where you're going to go.
Juicy, I mean, just if you like pop music, I don't, and I don't mean pop like like Gary Newman Cars. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but it's very accessible. It's very hooky. It's everything that you would ever want. It would be hard to find something better. You know, I mean, seriously, like I was like, what about this song? And I was just going on and on.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't just a moment thing. Like it was days after I was listening to it. So
Yeah.
I totally get the Butch Walker thing. It's like, okay, now I want to go see him. Now I want to go to a concert. Now I want to go see this guy. And I just, you know, and
Yeah.
he's almost not real. I mean, because I mean that it's like how it's sick to be able to write that many songs. He should be ashamed of himself with that many good songs. It's
Yeah.
embarrassed. It's like an embarrassment of riches. Seriously.
I'm not going to talk too much about Butch at the moment because there's an appearance later. I'm only going to say, well, you know what? I'll save my discussion of.
Okay, yeah, save it.
But Gary, do you remember? Or no, I'm sorry, not Gary. Andy, what's my? Do you know which album I like?
I'm sorry. This was an actual album that you're.
No, I didn't pick a Desert Island, but I'm just saying what my favorite Butch Walker.
No, I know. That's what,
yeah. I believe it's Glenn.
Yes, it's Glenn.
Okay. I was going to guess that.
It's interesting.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we're going to do
because of what you said, but we'll get into all.
We're going to talk about Butch later episodes, but yeah, Glenn is. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Butch Walker Letters is Andy's one of his 10, not his best, but one of his 10.
Yeah.
Alan.
So,
give us something to talk about.
You know what? Let's do some. Let's create some controversy, or maybe not controversy. It'll be in the audience. This is not my. It could be my favorite complete album of all time. I don't know. It's up there for many reasons, and I know people are going to scratch their heads, but Van Halen 5150 as a desert island album, for me, there's no lousy song on it. It is something that I would want to hear. It is completely melodic. I remember sometimes when you like something like a movie or a record, it can be about the expectation, like you set a low expectation. Because I remember kind of having like this is going to be a disaster type feeling. Like you don't replace David Lee Roth. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
right.
Like, this isn't going to be, Van Halen is cool as hell, and it opened up something in me that when I first heard it, it was, and again, this is not complex Mozart. I get that. But it married melody with Eddie Van Halen's guitar, and I was in love. I mean, to me, there's just not a bad song on there. Maybe one album I don't like. Maybe it is one of those records. I put it on once a week. It doesn't do anything to you but make you happy.
You know what's great about this album, and I did some hard looking at this album. Trust me. What I love about this album is this is one of those albums that when I put it in, it takes me back to. This is going to be a Eastgate Mall reference, but it takes me back to cruising Biggs. The strip, right?
Yeah.
That's what 51 in my Capri. My orange Capri with my Alpine cassette deck, and I had 5150 and just cruising up and down and stopping at Skyline or White Castle. And yeah, that's what I love about that album. Is it Van Halen's best? I don't know. There's such a debate over Van Halen that there's some people that hate everything that Sammy Hagar touched, and some people that love everything Sammy Hagar touched. I don't divide the camp that way. And a great album is a great album, and that's one of them. It's a beautiful, wonderful album. I love it.
That is
absolutely love it.
It kind of is my point a little bit, because I was never at the time. I was, I love Van Halen like everyone else did. I don't really like much after 5150.
Right.
But that record there just stands out to me as, I always say it's their best, and I know I'm going to get hit on that. But I just love the songs. And I'm saying, it's 1984 is amazing, and it's David Lee Roth and everything.
Hey, look, I went through Van Halen. I will tell you, I'll go ahead and spoiler alert. There's no Van Halen on my list.
Okay.
There's no Van Halen in my honorable mention. But I went through the Van Halen albums looking at them because I recognize that they are probably on somebody's list, and I am a fan, but I couldn't find anything that made me say, for my personal, I couldn't find anything that I'm like, man, I wouldn't like, this whole thing is so solid for me that I'd want to listen. And I agree with you. I think 5150 might be the one that has the most on it that I would enjoy.
Yeah.
And and that was what I thought the Desert Island thing is, right? So
Yeah.
you're going to listen, and there's a lot of bands like that. The Foo Fighters are kind of like that a little bit, where the
Yeah.
sum's greater than the parts. Like you'll pick one single or two singles, but the rest
Exactly.
of the album's not that great. But the
Right.
songs that are great are freaking great, right?
Right.
And I think Van Halen suffers from that a
Well,
little bit.
yeah, and that's why some albums didn't, or some even bands didn't make it on my list, because I'm like, I'm trying to get the most quality music that I like in my picks, because
Yeah.
we're very limited.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Well, the rules of this game are stupid. just gonna put it out there.
Oh, it's all silly. But
I think the rules are great.
It's an exercise in really, determining.
This has me questioning my own sanity. I'm like, that's not it. Why would you put that album on there? But I'm like, God, because I fucking love it.
Because
That's why it's on there, and I don't want to have to defend it, but I feel like I need to. Gary, let's try and get one more in this round before we have to put a pause here.
All right, this one we're gonna go we're gonna take another turn.
Hold on, let me hold on.
One. It's not gonna be that bad. I mean, at least for you. I know that you'll be a fan of this album.
Let me lay back in my hammock of my background, by the way, is the beautiful Isle of Aruba. That's where I'm hoping I get stranded.
I would venture to say that the album that I'm about to pick is one that, if it's not on Andy's list, is an album that Andy considered, which is probably not that big of a surprise. But
yeah.
For my next one, again, no particular order, I picked Don Henley, "End of the Innocence."
Jesus.
Okay, so Gary, you picked this?
Yes.
I have issues with this, but go ahead.
Did I know that Gary was into?
Oh yeah,
Henley?
I think we've discussed.
Yes. Okay.
You may not. You don't remember, but yeah, Gary and I both.
Okay.
I mean, I think my adoration for Henley's a little more than Gary's, but this album
is fantastic.
This changed a lot for me and Gary.
Yeah, for sure, and that's probably a lot to do with why I picked this one. Not only is it does it have a lot of songs that, man, are deep. I mean, there's a lot of poetry to this album, but it also was at a time that really was eye-opening for me as a music lover and musician,
and as a writer.
Yes.
Like, you think you can write, and everybody, like for the record, Gary's written some stuff, and it's really good. But Henley's a different beast, and when you start to study that kind of writing, it's like, oh shoot, that's a different way of saying what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Henley. Ooh.
Now, do I think it's looking at the tracks? Do I think every single track on there is awesome? There's a couple that I'm like, oh, okay. But the thing is that the ones that are good, and which is most of the album, in my opinion, I don't know that I could be without listening to him at some point.
No, oh my goodness. So Gary, when I'm going through these lists, I some of that, and I've got one on my list that is very similar to that, where there's a few songs that aren't so hot, but some of the ones are so good they count as 2 and 3, and you wouldn't want to be on a desert island, or you wouldn't want to be without that song. That album there, I remember where I was when I first heard The End of the Innocence. I remember buying it. I remember hearing those words even before the singles were singles, and thinking to myself, my God, if I could do that, because the beauty of writing, there are songs that don't have to be complicated, or you listen to it, you're just like, okay, and maybe there's a half verse. Henley goes, I even told Andy this today, Henley goes double verse, and it's almost like he had so much good stuff that he can't throw anything out, so you get a longer verse, and it's all quality. There's no throwaway words. It all means something. It is breathtaking. That's that album is my favorite album, whole album of his.
It's ironically funny because, Gary, you don't know this when you said that, but Alan and I were having a in-depth conversation about Don Henley's lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Today during the workday. We do this all day. Yeah. He'll send me something like, man, dude. And I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. And then we just start talking about. Yeah. And actually, Todd Kearns, he joined us in a separate conversation. I had 2 Henley conversations going on today, which is going to surprise you, Gary, because I actually just took that album off of my list.
Interesting.
And it was, I was upstairs listening. We're watching Survivor on the DVR, and I'm over there like this. Like, what's going on? I was like,
nice thing to watch when you're talking about desert islands.
I said, honey, I just had to make a cut
This song
off
was
my
not a
list
survivor.
He's
that
really into this. You're really into this.
yeah,
Watching reality TV.
Andy snuffed Henley's torch.
I did, and I said I just took an album off that I would have
Andy has
I would have fought with anybody in a parking lot over it being one of the greatest things I'd ever heard in my life, and I took it off.
Yeah.
She's like, at first she's like, "Who cares?" But like,
Well,
God,
look, like I said it before I even said it, I knew that it would. If it's not on your list, it was in contention for sure.
but I have I have a justification for why I did it, and it stems with you, Gary.
Okay, so I'm the reason that you took it off.
Well, you put some logic in my head that I will save for when we get to the reason that started this whole. I made some changes based on something you had said to me.
Okay.
Wow. Shit. Where do I go next? All right, I'm next. Real quick. I'm gonna stick with. No, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go way off the. I'll go what is expected out of me. I'm gonna go with 10 by Pearl Jam.
Well, there goes that one.
I'm
just kidding.
And I won't belabor it. And I really went back and I wrote back and forth with would I even put this on there because I'm not known as a grunge guy, and then maybe it's because of right now I've just seen Pearl Jam 3 times in 2 weeks. We just did a bunch of grunge episodes, so it's very prevalent. So it could be why it's there, but 10 has been in my mind since it came out. And I look at things, I say this a lot, I don't want to live in a world that I don't get to hear Black. I don't get to hear Alive. And yeah, I could hum it in my head, but I don't. I wanted this album, and this could change tomorrow or next week. But for now, I have 10 on there, and I have actually dabbled with verses, Gary, because you made me revisit that album.
Yeah.
And because one of my favorite all time songs by Pearl Jam is on that album, but I stayed with the what's considered probably one of the greatest debut albums of all time, not the, but one of the greatest, and that's 10 by Pearl Jam. So
I think even people who jumped off of grunge, maybe people who got kind of burned out by it, or people that even maybe were kind of mad at grunge for ruining Poison and Def Leppard, joke. But I think people, even those folks, love 10. I think 10 get the pass from everyone. And if you've ever heard it front to back, there's not a stinker on there. And matter of fact, some of the songs that didn't even, that weren't singles, so to speak, or there weren't videos for, or things that you haven't heard that are jaw-droppingly incredible, musically, lyrically.
take a song like Release.
Yeah, that's the one everyone talks about. Yeah,
it's a song that I watch people when I see them live. That there's people that stand there as adults crying as Eddie sings the song Release. So anyway, Pearl Jam 10. We don't need to belabor it. I've spent a lot of time talking about grunge lately, but it's on my list. But I could really switch it out with some other stuff that I'm contemplating right now as we talk.
No changing.
God dang it!
You're locked in.
Good God, I just want to change one, Gary.
You're locked in.
Alan,
okay.
Give us one more before we end this episode.
Okay, so I'm going to go with one. This is from 1971, and this will be. I love this record. I think 5150 only had 9 songs. Am I correct? This one only has 8. And this is Led Zeppelin 4.
Ooh.
And I know you
Classic.
guys probably aren't so much Zeppelin, but Black Dog, Rock and Roll, Going to California, which is one of the most beautiful songs ever written, When the Levee Breaks, Stairway to Heaven, of course. No, Kashmir's not on that. But there's a great Fast Times at Ridgemont. Well, there's a Fast Times at Ridgemont High reference there that is amazing, and we'll have to make that joke later. But Going to California, When the Levee Breaks, Misty Mountain Top, it is just,
that's almost like a greatest hits for them, isn't it?
It is, and I said it's 8. They do 8 songs with some bands.
We said no greatest hits. Sorry.
Yeah, Alan.
No, we did.
Listen, Black Dog is. I'm not a Zeppelin guy, but Black Dog is one of my favorite rock and roll songs.
Yeah, Black Dog is Black Dog is. I had it Stairway to Heaven in one of the iconic songs. That's one of my favorite. I just love the musicianship. I love the lyrics. I love everything about that. And grew up hating it. But now it is gold, man. So I've
Yeah, I'm
I've
the
gone
same
kind of
way.
I've kind of stayed I've kind of been conservative here, right? But I'm going to go off the
Yeah.
plant. I'll go off the ranch here a little
Oh,
bit.
I
I
got
think
some stuff
I
coming.
don't think that's too far off. I think there's probably a lot of people that would agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
I,
you're not going to
I
get any naysayers.
yeah. I was not a Led Zeppelin fan back in the day. I recognize them for the talent, they had.
If
Uh,
you'd have said the Firm or the Honey Drippers, you might have got some pushback. There's some obscure Zeppelin-esque
right.
references. All right, so let's wrap this one up. We only got 2 songs each on this first episode, so let's wrap this up. We'll come back, and hopefully people will be commenting and telling us that we're all fools. Fools in the rain, so to
Rain.
speak.
Yeah.
Pulled the rain. Yes.
There it is. I was trying to beat y'all to it. All right, let's say bye, everybody. We'll be back with our next episode with 2 more, or hopefully more than 2 per episode of our 10 Island albums.
Bye, everybody.
This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.